like they add intelligence and healing to our lives. And I think we can call on them, but they're not going to interfere if we don't ask. So we have free will. And many times I chose to ignore them and to not connect with them because I'm human and just wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live it. And then it usually didn't turn out so well when I took control. So I remembered to call on God, to call on the angels, and to use their guidance. It was only 2.5 minutes that I was dead. That realm is eternal, and that realm is without time. And I have to tell you that one of the after effects of a near-death experience is being outside of time. Time didn't make as much sense to me when I came back here, because in that moment, if I had to estimate what it felt like months or hours. It felt so long. I can't even put an estimate on it. All I know is that each moment spread out in eternity, and the lessons went on and on and on. So it wasn't just one lesson, but it was full and layered with lessons. I wanted to stay there. So when I thought about my family members and friends still there and that they would be sad if I died, in my mind over there, I was thinking, oh, they'll be here in no time at all. I thought their lives will play out like that. I didn't think that it would be a long time. So our relatives over there believe that they're going to see us quite shortly, because time is not an important concept there.
While in heaven, God taught Miss Barker many lessons about her life. One important lesson was to be kinder toward others.
I saw how I could have been nicer to people at work. I could have asked them more questions about themselves. I could have been kinder, because they were very kind to me, but I just didn't think that they were, quote, cool. I didn't think that they liked the same music or read the same books or liked the same things as me. And so I didn't have time for them. And God showed me that that was wrong, that they were beautiful people and they had good hearts. And I should look around and get to know people around me. As a young person, that was a lesson that was important, was to look at people's hearts.
While in heaven, God shows Miss Barker a river of life. He told her that her mission on earth was to help others through the field of teaching.
And I believe that God talks in metaphors to some degree. So I thought that river was just a river of life. But I have to tell you, for 10 years, I've been teaching at a community college, and it's the Trinity River campus. And every classroom overlooks this beautiful river. And I remind my students to go walk outside and walk along this river and to be in connection with God and to open themselves to meditation. And I teach meditation out by the river. And I bring students to that place of connection. And I believe that that's part of my goal. And the first day 10 years ago, when I was in that building and I realized that I had that job, I thought, the near-death experience was bringing me to this moment. It's like, this is where I'm really going to make a difference in the community. This is where I'm really going to help students. Not that I hadn't helped them before, I had, but this was just important somehow, that this campus was going to touch the lives of people who might not otherwise be touched. And I had students who were out of jail who came to my campus, and then they got a 4.0 and they transferred on to major universities and got great jobs. I had students who were on welfare and ended up getting a great job, a great scholarship, traveling overseas. I had so many students who were struggling. I had students who were suicidal go into deep therapy or recovery and find themselves in this world. And that joy, it's more than any other type of joy, because you know that you've really touched lives, and you know it's not just you, it's God working through you to touch other people and to make sure that they are on their right path and that they are connected to God.
Barker told us that during her near-death experience, she saw several angels. whose light helped to heal her. Since then, she has maintained a connection with the angels.
So I had a long recovery. After I was in the hospital for 9 days, I went home and I was in a body cast, and my body was in a lot of pain, and I started praying to God and those angels, and I would close my eyes and meditate, and I would feel the same angels working on my spine and working on my back. And so very shortly after the accident, I was in connection with the angels, and I feel that this is my first lifetime where I've had a strong connection to angels. They seem so deeply intelligent and there for me. I was humbled almost that these deeply intelligent beings were there for me. And I think many of us can feel that way, that there's so much divine love and so much divine intelligence available for us if we only look around, if we only believe that it's there for us. And that was part of my journey. So the angels taught me that they work through this realm and they work through us, and we can open ourselves to them, and they can spread their healing and their love to others. They can literally send that light through us to connect with others. And they did work through me many times in the classroom. I wouldn't even understand what was happening, but a student would look at me and I'd start talking, and I felt the angels working through me to help that student. And then that student would be in tears and, say, I'm going to join the Peace Corps. And I'm like, what? That they add intelligence and healing to our lives. And I think we can call on them, but they're not going to interfere if we don't ask. So we have free will. And many times I chose to ignore them and to not connect with them because I'm human and just wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live it. And then it usually didn't turn out so well when I took control. So I remembered to call on God, to call on the angels, and to use their guidance. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think that we have guardian angels. When I call on them for help, then they are there. So they're certainly on my path with me. And I don't physically see them, I can sense the energy. But there was one moment in time where a friend asked me a year after my near-death experience, and he said, do you still see angels? And I looked up for a minute and I saw 2 angels around everyone. I saw, just all these things that were not necessarily part of this reality just for a split second, and then it was gone. And I thought, these angels are really with us all the time. Yours are here, mine are here, everyone's are here.
In addition to angels, Ms. Barker also sensed the presence of spirit or ghost. When possible, she tries to help them.
I think they're lost. That's an after effect of a near-death experience, is sometimes I've found lost spirits along the way, and I tell them, I remind them what that light is and that it's okay to go. They're over-attached to this reality. It's like if I had just kept staying and looking at my body in the near-death experience and not had all of that happen, I wouldn't know all the beauty and that love of God. So I remind them that the love of God is there. And a lot of times they either go away or they go ahead and go to the light. And as strange as this is, I've helped a few transition and go to the light. And I don't think it's strange because of my near-death experience. I think it's just something I have to do.